We want to take a moment and have you look closely at your screen, and we need your help. Police believe the man in this video walking on a wooded trail in Delphi, Indiana on February 13th, 2017 is a murderer responsible for the deaths of two young girls. And pay close attention to his body, his gait, his facial hair, even what he is wearing that day. Detectives say someone knows who this man is, and that person could hold the key to solving a nearly 5-year-old murder mystery. Abby Williams and Libby German were in the 8th grade and out for a walk on the Monon Trail in Delphi when Libby captured the image of that man on her phone. The girls were found dead the next day about a half a mile off the trail. Their killer is still out there, and now all of these years later, there is a possible new break in the case. Indiana State Police discovered a man targeting young girls on social media. They say he was using the fake name Anthony Schatz, and he also was using a picture of someone else, not him, to hide his own identity. We now know that profile was connected to this man. His name is Keegan Kline. He is in jail, charged with 30 crimes, including child exploitation. Investigators have not directly tied him to the girls' murders, but they do want to hear from anyone who chatted with his fake profile that Kline had created. He has a pre-trial hearing next week as police make this announcement. Now, these new clues have some wondering if authorities are close to cracking this case wide open. Andrew Iden is one of the hosts and producers behind the podcast Down the Hill, digging into this case over the last 5 years, and he is joining us live tonight. Andrew, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Marty.
So police say they believe they have talked to this killer. They said that in the press conference this week. Do you think that they know who this person is, who this man is, but they are not yet saying?
You know, I think we all wish we had the answer to that question. But what I can tell you is that having had conversations with law enforcement in the multiple agencies on this case, I don't think they would necessarily release information like this if there wasn't something tangible. You know, the other thing we have to remember with cases like this is that while this appears to be a significant development from, you know, on its face, it's also possible that this is one link that is connected to 2, 3, 4 other links that can then get them to the killer. So, you know, these cases get really complicated. So while there may be significance, I think it may be also, at the same time, a small part of a bigger picture.
Okay, so for a moment, let's focus in on Keegan Kline. Police are not naming him as a suspect, but we see that he's in jail. We've now seen his mugshot. His face is all over TV. Has he been ruled out as a suspect?
You know, I think we can say no, because, you know, law enforcement will tell you, and they've told me multiple times in conversations, that they haven't ruled anybody out. They are keeping a very wide scope, you know, when it comes to this case and who their killer is. And so I think that, you know, they're doing everything they can to avoid being too narrow focused. So at this point, they haven't ruled anybody out.
What do we know about him and people close to him? What have you found out?
You know, it's still kind of a blurry picture, which, you know, is a large part of this case. So we're still trying to kind of sort that out. But, you know, obviously, based on what we know about those crimes against him, he has obviously you know, some pretty serious allegations against him. And so, you know, I think, you know, that's kind of the extent of what we know at this point. But, you know, in terms of kind of his background, I think that's still kind of unclear. But
we do know, and we didn't know this years ago when the murders happened, that police searched his home pretty soon after those girls were killed.
Yeah, and I think that kind of leads to the question of, you know, what was the result of that search? What was, you know, it appears that search didn't necessarily lead to anything. So that obviously brings us all to the point now of, you know, nearly 5 years later, you know, why are we here now? And I think, you know, that's obviously, like I said, that's all the question that we're all trying to get an answer to.
Right. It's hard not to speculate. We want some evidence. We want some facts. Right. You know, one thing that sticks out to me, Andrew, is the biggest clue is this video of this man walking on the trail the day before the girls' bodies were found. Libby had the wherewithal, this young girl, to film this man, and even an audio clip of him saying down the hill. That is all we have to go on. It's a piece of this puzzle that this little girl who was killed left behind. The fact that we have this image of this guy walking, we know what he looks like, how he walks, what he's wearing, we heard his voice. 5 years later, people are surprised that he hasn't been caught. I mean, rarely in a case like this, you see the person.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think this is one of the reasons why this case has kind of struck such a chord with everybody is there's such a visual element, right? I mean, you never see the man that people believe is the one that was responsible for this crime without him being arrested at some point. So, you know, I think when you talk to law enforcement, I do believe there was a sentiment early on that because of the visual aids and the audio that came out of that phone, that they weren't necessarily going to have a situation where they're sitting here 5 years later still trying to get information. So yeah, I'm a little bit surprised as well. But you know, the other thing is, like, you know, Marty, you've covered these cases too. I mean, these things take a very, very long time to resolve themselves. And, you know, it's important that, you know, while it's frustrating from the media's perspective and the public's perspective, like, that's something the families have to reconcile to. So I think, you know, obviously patience is everything here. But yeah, I think we're all surprised that 5 years later, this is still where it is.
And Andrew, you have interviewed so many of the players involved in this case. So over the course of your interviews, you know, what has stood out to you as a potential lead or something they're not looking at enough?
You know, I wish I had a definitive answer for you. I mean, I've been over and over timelines and, you know, been to Delphi numerous times. And just when I think I might have an idea, something else comes along and kind of squashes that. So me, and as well as the folks on our podcast, we are constantly in kind of this whack-a-mole mode of trying to figure this out. And I just, at this point, you know, every time something comes along that we think might have some, you know, some depth to it, something else comes along and kind of moves that out of the way.
Right.
So I hate to kind of give you the cop-out answer, but that's kind of where we are is, you know, it's just, it's a constant moving target.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you've got two little girls who were killed from a small community in Indiana. I mean, Delphi is not very big. They were on this wooded trail. I would imagine that certainly afterwards, and maybe even now with a killer on the loose, there has to be a level of fear in this town. You've been there. What do people say?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the fear is very real. And so, you know, there are people that will tell you that in the weeks, months, and even, you know, a few years after that, they wouldn't go out and walk the dog at night. They would lock their cars. They would, you know, after dark, Delphi would be kind of a ghost town. And so while I do think some of that has worn off, there is always the reminder that this is still open. And, you know, when you drive through downtown Delphi, there is a huge poster in the window with the sketch, with the picture of the man on the bridge. So while the time goes on and people learn to kind of continue on and move on with their lives, the reminder is there every single day. And so, yeah, the fear has not disappeared. It's certainly still there.
And the desire for answers, not just for the family, but for those girls and their legacy and what had happened to Abby and Libby. Andrew, appreciate you coming on. Thank you again.
Sure. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And if you have any information about the murders of Abby or Libby or any details on that Anthony Schatz social media account, you are asked to contact the tip line. We have that number and also an email on your screen tonight as we continue to follow this case. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.